WWE's Elimination Chamber is 11 days away, and now matches are official on the card. So we can now go over them. And like last time, we were just trying to figure out who would be in the chamber, and we'll get to that later. But first off, we'll just go bottom top here for so far for the matches. First off, Nikki Bella versus Natalya. This has been a feud going on for a while now, and this last night on SmackDown, Natalya has her own personal security, so I don't know what that's going to do. We only saw it on a backstage segment, no less. But Daniel Bryan made the match Nikki Bella versus Natalya. There's no stipulation as of yet, so it's interesting to say the least. I don't know who's going to win this one because really I feel like Nikki might win this just because Natalya's really kind of in a D push right now. Ever since just what she had last time, and now it's very confusing. What she had with Becky, and now with Nikki, where it's gotten really personal with families to the point where Bret Hart is no longer her uncle. At least Natalya says that Bret Hart is no longer her uncle. Biologically, that's incorrect, but for the storyline, might as well go with it. Especially it gets you heat because everyone loves Bret Hart, and they apparently now hate you, so that's good. But with this, I feel like Nikki has to win, just based on Natalya's character, how Natalya has been as of late. She's basically there to put other people over, which is not an easy job in WWE. I really don't see her having a world title push anytime soon, or a women's title, excuse me. But it's basically their world title because for the women at least. But still, I don't see Natalya winning this one. I just can't see it, and I wouldn't be surprised if she did win. But just based on what has been going on, for those who have been out of the loop, basically, Natalya attacked Nikki at Survivor Series. Carmella, they thought it was Carmella, and Carmella was telling the truth. And this has been a thing for the past few weeks now, so I feel like Nikki's going to win. And if they have another match, I wouldn't put it past them for Natalya to win, build it up, and like maybe say WrestleMania they have something on the pre-show to settle it down. And there's nothing wrong with the pre-show, especially since it's going to be like 2 hours for WrestleMania or 3 hours or however long it was last year. It felt like forever, like being there personally. But yeah, it was Nikki wins. Next up, a tag team turmoil. At first, I thought they were going to put all 6 teams in the chamber, like they did last year, where they had the New Day all in a pod. It was fucking great. But or was that 2 years ago? It was a year or 2 years ago that happened. I don't really recall. Might have been last year. But this is better, I guess. You have a tag team turmoil, basically. American Alpha last night had an open challenge for the tag titles. They haven't done anything since honestly, they haven't really done anything since retaining against the Wyatt family. So they've just been sitting there. They weren't at the Rumble. They weren't on the SmackDown before the Rumble. I don't even know the last time we've seen them, to be honest. And that's bad, knowing that's your tag champions. They haven't used them. And I understand SmackDown's 2 hours. You're not going to get all the champions on there all the time. But it feels like America's Office has been gone for a while now. But nonetheless, we don't know the exact order of the tag team turmoil, so that does have something to do with it. But it's basically all the tag teams. So American Alpha, the Usos, Rhino and Slater, the Ascension, Breezango, and the Vaudevillains. So 6 teams, especially since Ryder's injured. So that's basically all the tag teams pretty much in SmackDown, so that's not bad. It's interesting because tag team turmoil, for those that don't know how that works, basically 2 teams start the match. Once a team is pinned or submitted, they go to the locker room, the next team enters, and this continues until there's one team standing. It really depends on the luck of the draw. It's much like the Rumble. It's harder to predict these kind of matches. So let's just go team by team and just see. Because again, the order will have a factor in this, no doubt. Much like the Rumble, the higher your number, the higher chance you have to win. The later you enter this match, the better your chance you have to win this match. So the Ascension. I really don't think they'd put the belt on the Ascension. I don't. It's not that I don't like them. It's that they have been buried since day one when they came to the main roster. Basically, it was horrible. I mean, the Ascension was once a great tag team in NXT, and then they just went to shit. So I don't think that'll happen. Slater and Rhino's a possibility. You know, they're the former champions, and it's possible for them to win the belts back. But I don't really know the connection that Slater and Rhino have. At one point, we thought they were broken up, but they're back together for some reason, and I don't know. You know, Slater's got the contract; he has nothing to worry about. So I don't know at this point. I really don't. They're a possibility, but I don't. Again, it depends on the entry. The Usos, they've been close before. They could be the biggest threat to the tag titles at this point. But again, I don't know if they're going to do it. American Alpha's is just a safe bet because they just won the belts, and it would be pretty stupid to have them drop them after just beating them from the Wyatts. But again, you know, the way this match is made, the later you come in, the more you have a chance. So if the American Alpha are first out, they're pretty much not going to run the table. It's a possibility that they could run the table, excuse me, but I don't think that that's going to happen. You know, I mean, it would make sense for them to run the table and retain, but then what's the point of that? You know, they just destroyed all the tag teams, and then you'll have a situation where you have to make another new tag team to face them, because they basically would have beaten the entire tag team division on SmackDown. They'd have to start going to Raw at that point. And with the brand split now, I don't know if you can do that yet. Maybe at WrestleMania, champion versus champion, Raw versus SmackDown, that's a possibility. But I don't know. I don't know about that. Again, it depends on the luck of the draw. Breezango, you know, I wish I could say better things about them, but they're much like the Ascension. They were great at first, and they're fashion police now, and literal fashion police, by the way. Not just the term, the actual the literal fashion police. And I don't know how that's going to work if you're champions, so I don't think they're going to win this. And the Vaudevillains, much like the Ascension, they were great in NXT. They were great when they first came to the main roster. I remember last year I was so hyped for them to come to the main roster. I was at the Raw at the WrestleMania last year, and we saw them being on SmackDown, or at least a video for them being on SmackDown, and that was going to be great for them. And they were great. But now, you know, they're basically jobbers. And I hate saying it like that. They're basically jobbers. And I don't think you would put jobbers as tag team champions, as great as they are. They are amazing. If you've ever seen their NXT stuff, go back and look. They're great. But I don't think they'll do it. But again, with this type of match, it depends on when you enter. The later you're in, I've said it probably 5 or 6 times now, the later you're in, the better chance you have of winning. And I don't know what could happen. I'm just going to say American Alpha runs the table. I don't know. With these tag teams, you really need to strengthen your tag team division, because it's predictable now. And it's sad. I understand you don't have any people as Raw, but you need more people. At least call up the Revival or something. Bring something to the table. Make it interesting. There's a lot of tag teams right now you could possibly call up. Like DIY or the Revival, or even Authors of Pain. You know, there's a lot of teams you could call up right now. You probably shouldn't, because you need that tag team division to be strong, but, you know, you need to make SmackDown strong as well. Raw doesn't really need that many tag teams. They might need one of them, but I don't need all of them. And with that, we'll just cut here and go to the final 2 matches so far of this card.